Socio-environmental impacts of glacial melt in Peru. Water security means reliable access to water of good quantity and quality and is central to sustainable development and human and ecosystem well-being. Water is perhaps the most exploited of natural resources, with around 70% of freshwater extraction used for agriculture. Food production makes water security challenges worse through soil degradation from unsustainable land use. What's more, around 30% of global energy consumption can be attributed to food production and supply. However, climate change, shifting land use practices and economic growth are placing increased pressures on our water, food and energy security. Glaciers and ice sheets cover 10% of Earth's surface, but contain 70% of global freshwater. Their meltwater feeds many of the world's great rivers, relied upon by hundreds of millions of people living downstream of areas like the Andes and the Himalayas. But with global warming, many of these glaciers are retreating, threatening that water security. The Cordillera Blanca in Peru is the most glaciated mountain range in the tropics, containing 25% of all the tropical mountain glaciers on Earth. But the area covered by glaciers has decreased by around 35% in the last 40 years alone. For the Rio Santa, glacial meltwater from the Cordillera Blanca provides 10 to 20% of river flow. But this can exceed 40% during the dry season and as much as 90% during droughts. Our project wanted to understand the challenges posed by both retreating glaciers and land and water use in this catchment. As a glacier retreats in response to climate warming, meltwater production increases until the glacier shrinks to a critical size, leading to a reduction in river flow downstream. This point is termed peak water and has probably already passed for many glaciers in Peru. Reduction in river flow poses a threat to water supplies and agriculture in Peru, but also to energy production, as around half of Peru's electricity is generated by renewable hydropower. Water supply challenges in the Rio Santa are made more complex by drought, but meltwater has historically offset some of the impacts of low rainfall. However, periods of drought are increasing and meltwater production decreasing, while hydropower and other human activities disrupt and reduce natural river flow. In addition to there being enough water, that water also needs to be of good quality. However, human activities and natural processes can impact water quality in the Rio Santa. For example, both glacial erosion and mining of rock rich in heavy metals can lead to contamination of water sources. Local strategies can be put in place to improve water quality, such as the introduction of wetlands, which remove contaminants and improve the pH of water, while slowing down the flow like a natural reservoir. The success of strategies like this requires local buy-in, but communities in the Rio Santa have sometimes been excluded from conversations about how land and water use should be managed. By engaging local people in research and data collection, we can provide opportunities for communities to feel more empowered, while also improving scientific understanding of the challenges facing the region by embedding traditional knowledge of water and ecosystems. Some impacts of climate change might feel remote in time and space, but water security challenges in areas like the Andes are very current. Even those of us who don't rely on glaciers directly may not realise that some of the imported foods we buy, like blueberries and asparagus, are irrigated by meltwater. It is vital to understand changing patterns of glacial meltwater production, as well as water and land use, because that understanding will help guide the design of future water management practices that are effective and resilient. Ultimately, to tackle water insecurity in mountain regions, we need informed and equitable management of water and land at local scales, but crucially, this must be combined with clear action on climate change at a global scale.